Welcome back, everybody. We are learning more about the scale of the hack into Microsoft's Exchange Server email software. Hundreds of thousands of government offices, small businesses, and schools could be affected. And joining us right now with an expert cybersecurity point of view is Nikesh Arora, Palo Alto Networks CEO and Chairman. And thanks for being with us today. It's good to see you.
Good morning, Becky. Thank you for having me.
You know, if anything, Nikesh, we are probably underreporting the potential impact from this Microsoft hack. What do you see?
Well, a few months ago, we were talking about SolarWinds and how that was a big dream hack. And we went around and saying, look, this stuff is getting serious. I think this one is even bigger. Just based on our data, we found 125,000 Exchange servers that have not been patched yet. And there's probably tens of thousands which were patched, which have been vulnerable for the last few months. So this could impact potentially tens of thousands of organizations and government entities out there. And I'm not sure everybody's been through the carnage this is going to cause.
You know, so many times we hear about these hacks, but then we don't see the after effect or what might happen. Is that because nothing's happening with it, or because it's really tough to say who's looking at what and who's got what information? If we think the Chinese are behind this, what could potentially be at risk?
Well, I think what happens is that people have gone and entered various organizations' treasure trove of data. Once you're in there, you can move laterally and access lots and lots of different stuff. And it doesn't behoove the people who are hacked to tell you that they were hacked and what they lost. It doesn't behoove the people who hacked you to go tell you what they have obtained in the process. I think what this tells us is how woefully unprepared we are for the new world where cyber warfare is going to be the norm.
How much more complicated has this gotten with so many people who are working from home at this point? How much harder is it to protect a system when your workers are all over the place?
Well, it's not just the workers being all over the place. The challenge is that with the pandemic, every company is now 100% reliant on technology. You can't make anything work unless you have your ordering systems available to the internet, unless you have everything that you do relies on e-commerce today. Your bricks and mortar stuff is pretty much shut. So if your entire business relies on technology, you're trying to make sure that everything works, your employees are working from home, which just means that the attack surface, i.e. where I can go infiltrate your organization, has become so large, which was never set up to be protected, that you are going to see more and more of these hacks. We're seeing some of the old techniques of hacking come back because suddenly we've exposed lots and lots of homes and lots of people are working, like you said, wherever they want. And it's very hard for an organization to pivot that quickly and make sure they're secure.
Without sounding too self-serving, explain what it is that Palo Alto Networks can do to prevent this stuff. And by the way, have your customers been hacked, fallen victim to either of these two, the SolarWinds or the Microsoft? You can't prevent every hack from coming in, but what do you do?
Well, anyone who was a SolarWinds customer who did have that specific patch that caused the bad actors to be able to enter your systems is potentially compromised or has been compromised if they weren't protecting themselves. Similarly, people who have unpatched Exchange servers have to go look carefully and make sure that they plug the vulnerabilities that exist in the product. Now, they could also be Palo Alto customers, but what the hackers have done, they've gone into underlying operating systems of technology pieces of infrastructure that you've been using. So yes, there's possibly, we've noticed there's a few thousand customers of ours who have Exchange servers that are unpatched, which we'll have to go and find them and patch them. In terms of what we can do, look, this whole battle is going to go shift towards aggregating more data and analyzing data. You can't go be defensive purely by plugging holes and closing doors. You've got to go make sure you understand all the data that's coming in and out of your organization. And towards that end, we have a variety of products that are based on machine learning and artificial intelligence, which allow us to look for not just known attacks, but also unknown attacks. And some of these are zero-day attacks, i.e. never seen before. And to protect yourselves against unknown attacks, you have to make sure that you're analyzing the data that comes in and out of your organization.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.